I'm a man that's fighting for everything that he owns, sir.
So what's your plan, Tony, huh? What's next?
Say things that shouldn't. What can you do?
Do you want to come in for something to eat, John?
Off, you
Well, it's nice to meet you too.
Sorry.
Tonight we got a shot. There's a perfect configuration of people in this diner that can save humanity.
Hello and welcome to our film show here on Arts 24, where I'm joined by critic Emma Jones to run us through some of the new releases this week. Hi, Emma.
Hello.
Now we're starting with Palme d'Or-winning director Gus Van Sant and his new film Dead Man's Wire. Well, this stars Bill Skarsgard and Colman Domingo. I believe it is a thriller, but it's based on a true story.
Yes, Gus Van Sant based this film on what happened in 1977 when a salesman, Coney Kiritsis, kidnapped an executive, Richard Hall, in Indianapolis because of a grievance he had against Hall's father's mortgage company. He held a sawn-off shotgun to Hall's head and put a wire around his neck, which connected to the gun, so he couldn't escape without dying instantly.
Aye.
Now, this is Van Sant's first film in 7 years. He is, of course, the director of iconic American indie movies, including Milk, Good Will Hunting, the Palme d'Or-winning Elephant, and one of my own youthful favourites, My Private Idaho.
Too right.
Fun to note, this is a fun anecdote, that lead actor Bill Skarsgård was 7 years old when he first met Gus Van Sant, apparently on the set of Good Will Hunting, because Bill's dad, Stellan, was actually in that movie.
Ah, okay, so this collaboration was certainly meant to be. Let's take a look at Dead Man's Wire.
Okay, Dad, if you wanted to take a moment to apologize, I think it would expedite this release process.
I'm not going to admit guilt to something I didn't do.
Just apologize for what you did. Just apologize.
No, Tony, no. Stay strong, Richard.
Hello?
Some sick, twisted people in this world.
I hear you, Tony. But holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
1970s, truly the heyday of kidnappings. So it does feel like a sort of black comedy, but then there is some tension with a standoff.
Yes, indeed. It is at times laugh out loud, absurdist comedy without the drama ever being lost. And it's certainly tense because Tony as a character is so unpredictable. And the camera work inside Tony's apartment certainly helps give it that edgy kind of feel. This is a great character performance by Bill Skarsgård, who has spent hours in the makeup chair with previous recent roles for other English language characters. If you think of Pennywise, the horror clown, Nosferatu and The Crow, this obviously is very, very different. Now, Colman Domingo is also in this movie as a fictitious character, apparently a DJ who acts as a negotiator. Now, if anyone has an alternate career before him, if he wants it, it's Colman Domingo as a radio DJ because of the smoothness of that voice.
Oh, fantastic voice indeed.
Yeah, and then Dacre Montgomery, he's the Australian actor who played Billy in Stranger Things Season 3. He's unrecognisable, I think, as the hostage, Richard, but gives him so much pathos as the Nepo baby of a hard-hearted millionaire played by Al Pacino, who has one particularly brilliant scene. So this may have taken place 50 years ago, but it does feel quite timely. There are echoes of last year's shooting of a healthcare executive in the US. I feel that was the Luigi Mangione case.
I remember.
So it feels very timely about that potentially lethal frustration of a guy who feels he can't get a break.
Definitely want to watch then. Well, next to a British film that saw its lead actor win a BAFTA award, beating Michael B. Jordan and Timothée Chalamet. It's called I Swear, directed by Kirk Jones, and it stars Robert Aramayo in that lead role. In French, it's called Plus fort que moi, or Stronger Than Me, I Can't Help It. And I guess that refers to the Tourette's syndrome that main character suffers from. The prize, of course, suggests it's a great performance. Emma, how did you find it?
Yes, indeed. I feel that this film is a throwback to a different era of British movie making when they churned out a lot of films that could combine high quality acting, social realism, comedy and pathos too, if you think back to movies such as Billy Elliot, that kind of thing. And this is a true story of Tourette's campaigner John Davidson, whose condition started as a teenager in the 1980s. He has a form of Tourette's that only affects a small percentage of those who have the condition. His involuntary tics are often swear words.
Okay, well, let's have a look at what to expect from the film.
We need to get you out, man.
I can see he's off the medication.
I'm so sorry, pal.
I'm so tired.
I don't think Tourette's is the problem. People not knowing about Tourette's is the problem. Educate them.
And that person, that man, John Davidson, was also an exec producer on the film. He actually shouted a racial slur during the BAFTA ceremony. He had to leave shortly afterwards and he apologised. Did that controversy overshadow the film a bit?
I hope not. You know, Davidson's life seems full of controversies. A true story, he met the late Queen Elizabeth to be rewarded for his work, and he swore during that meeting as well, which is reflected in the movie. And I'd say the point of watching the film is really to understand somebody like John Davidson better, because the form of tics that he has, he's been misunderstood his entire life. He's ended up in court because of it, and he's been badly beaten up, as you'll see from the film. But this is not British kitchen sink drama. It's tenderly and often comedically written and acted to. A great supporting cast, it has to be said. Peter Mullen, Maxine Peake and Shirley Henderson starring as John's mother. Robert Aramayo, though, front and centre, fantastic in this movie.
Does look like a fantastic performance. Well, next to a film from Gore Verbinski. This is the director behind the first three hugely successful Pirate of the Caribbean movies and a remake of the classic Japanese horror film The Ring. His new film is called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Love that title.
Yes, amazing.
Starring Sam Rockwell and Juno Temple. How would you describe this one?
Yeah, a lot of critics have described it as gonzo, and I think I have to agree. Gonzo was made, I think, as a description for this over-the-top but timely adventure romp. It starts when a mad-looking Sam Rockwell, he looks like a Terry Gilliam film character in this, appears in an LA diner, announces that he's from the future and he's recruiting volunteers to halt the development of an all-powerful AI.
Okay, well, let's get a feel for the film.
Somewhere inside of you, you know the way things are, the way we're heading, the way people are with each other. You know the world's going to shit. What means a damn is you people choosing to come along for this ride because you see the writing on the wall and you're ready to wake up and do something about it.
There is a chance you will die tonight. Those are real bullets! But I truly believe you could be the group that saves the fucking world.
Now, Sam Rockwell, very much the star of the show here in every scene that he's in. But he is helped by the supporting cast. You saw some of them there. Hayley Lou Richardson, she plays a woman allergic to Wi-Fi. Michael Pena plays a teacher whose students are fixated to their smartphones. And Juno Temple, she plays a woman who's lost her child in a school shooting. But now technology means that those lost children can be cloned in the blink of an eye. So this is probably the most politically sharp commentary in the entire film. Otherwise, I found it a bit in style and pace, everything everywhere all at once, basically. A lot of flashbacks and, you know, cuts to the present. It felt a bit too much for me, to be quite honest with you. However, to praise Verbinski for going out on a limb making this film, it was financed independently, and although the box office where it's been released so far hasn't been so great, it is fast becoming something of a cult classic, thanks to word of mouth for those who've really loved it.
That's interesting, and it's certainly, like you said, very timely subject matter there, frighteningly real. Well, finally, to the sequel now of a horror comedy, Ready or Not, which was a surprise hit in 2019. Now we have Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, or in France, the very literal title, Wedding Nightmare Part 2, which gives us a clue. Tell us more, Emma.
You know, I have to say, I loved the first Ready or Not. Starred Ozzy Samara Weaving as Grace, a demented bride in a bloodstained gown and sneakers, forced to endure a wedding night game of hide and seek with her wealthy new Satanist in-laws. You can imagine how that went. It succeeded in being both super violent and hilarious, particularly because all the baddies exploded at the end, which is funnier than it sounds, I promise you. So this film is directed again by Tyler Gillette and Matt Bettinelli-Olpin, and it picks up moments after the last one when an exhausted Grace barely has time to smoke a cigarette before she learns her victory has triggered another high-stakes contest between her and more billionaire Satanists. Okay, right. So there are new characters. Kathryn Newton from Big Little Lies and Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's introduced as Grace's estranged sister, Faith. You have Buffy the Vampire Slayer herself,
right,
Sarah Michelle Gellar. She joins the cast. And Elijah Wood comes on board playing Old Nick's lawyer.
Okay, it's just not what you want for your wedding day, is it? Well, let's hear it from Sarah Michelle Gellar on playing a villain in this film, and from Kathryn Newton on how they create those explosions with blood cannons.
When you get to play the villain, you get to chew the scenery. You get to say the things you wouldn't really say in real life. I mean, villains have a lot of fun.
Filming those blood cannon scenes feel like we're making something really special because everyone on set is involved. There's a lot of people on this movie that go into those moments. It's not just me on camera getting blood on my face. It's like 10 people, and like a lot goes into it. So it feels like what it might feel like before a set in like a concert. So you can feel the anticipation, and then my reaction is guttural.
Well, this is an intriguing sequel. So Samara Weaving proved herself to be an iconic heroine in the first film. She's magnetic in this too. I loved a short cameo by Canadian author David Cronenberg, of all people. And I find the idea that a small group of evil billionaires are controlling the world, well, let's say it's intriguing, isn't it? You know? But the violence turns from funny to quite dark at times in this film. So I still recommend a watch. But I think when it comes to a third film, I don't think that's a game worth playing.
They can leave it there. Maybe they'll take your advice on board. Emma, thank you so much for the roundup this week. We'll leave you to decide whether Ready or Not needs another instalment. Here's a short clip of the film. Otherwise, join us next time here on Arts 24 for more movies, arts and culture.
It's exciting. Well, exciting for me. It's terrifying for you.
Clear.